Hey buddies, Miss Puggy here, coming at you with another Borderlands 3 video. Today we're going to be discussing Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and the main characters and the main villain that is going to be in that game right then. So we had a lot of hints on what the main villain is, or even flat out said by Ashley Birch. And I kind of wanted to show you guys a couple of screenshots for the main characters and the main villain, if you haven't already figured out who the main characters and main villains are. And I have some names for those characters as well that I got from the Gearbox website. But before we get into that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You have no idea how much it helps me out, and let's get into it. So first I want to talk about the villain, because my favorite thing about any video game is the villain. If you go to the Summer Game Fest around the 33-minute mark, there's the main villain right here called the Dragon Lord. It isn't flat out said who exactly these characters are in the background, but we can use some knowledge of what we heard before and kind of guess on who the Dragon Lord is. So right off the bat, we know he has some horns and wings, so this has to be the Dragon Lord. So that's a real easy one. We got the villain right there, and besides that, we also have a big screenshot of the Dragon Lord right here. He has a big badass sword and a hand with magic as well. He just looks like an awesome villain, and he's going to be voiced by Will Arnett, which has quite the deep voice, if you guys seen a couple of his movies or shows that he's in. So it's going to be quite a great fit for him. I'm really excited to see how he is going to be in the game. But besides that, we have 3 other characters that are going to be main characters, as we know from the Borderlands website for the news. We have Valentine and a robot by the name of Fretty. I think that's how you say it, Fretty. And of course Tiny Tina. So let's not discuss who Tiny Tina is. We have possible screenshots on who Valentine and Fretty is going to be. So right here, let me skip to the part of the video. We have who I believe would be Valentine, because there's only 3, I think 4 characters that show up behind Ashley Birch in this interview. And it is the Dragon Lord, a robot, a human, and Tiny Tina. So, right to assume that this is probably Valentine. He looks like a smug mother effer, I'll tell you that. So, hopefully he isn't too annoying. Maybe he'll just be the Claptrap of the game. But, you know, there won't be anybody, of course, replacing Claptrap, because I'm sure there's going to be Claptrap in the game, which we'll discuss a little bit later. And Fretty's on this screenshot right here. He says, on the website, it says he's a rule-obsessed robot, which sounds really funny, because as we know, it's going to be a D&D inspired adventure, so there's lots of rules in D&D. So there might be instances where Tiny Tina's like, just do a D8, and Fretty's like, no, you gotta do a D20 or something. I don't know. We'll see what he does. We don't really know anything, but I think his design's pretty cool. It's kind of unique on what robots we don't see and we see in the game. There's not a lot of robots that have this particular shape. We can't really see what his bottom side looks like, but he kind of looks like he got a big booty, so that's cool. But besides that, in the press releases, we did get mentions of 2 other main characters that's going to be joining us. There's going to be 2 misfits, as it says in the press release, for a loot-wielding barbarian, not barbarian, but barbarian, so a combination of a bard and a barbarian, and then a fairy punch father. Now, it's kind of obvious on who the fairy punch father is going to be. That's more than likely going to be Brick right here. I can't think of any other character who would be a fairy punch father, because Brick is all about punching things. But the real question is, who is the loot-wielding barbarian? Now, that's really tricky, because there's not a lot of characters that has a lot of inspiration with music, and I would assume that it is one of the previous Vault Hunters that we've had in the game, or even a previously established character that we have. So my guess on who the loot-wielding barbarian was, my first guess was going to be Mordecai, but then I thought about it, it's like, that makes no sense. He doesn't do anything sword-like or music-related. Sword characters would be like Fina and Zero. Both of those characters don't have anything to do with music. And then I thought, music, who likes to sing a lot? Maybe it's going to be Claptrap. I don't know. That's my guess on who it's going to be. That'd be really nice. But keep in mind, these main characters are more than likely not going to be playable characters. There's a lot of hints that you're going to be able to create your own customizable character, but there's also a lot of wording in certain articles that kind of state that you just customize your character. So there might just be 4 particular Vault Hunters that you can pick from like usual, and then you can customize them like how we do in the current game. But we'll see, maybe there'll just be more customized option. We'll never know. And that's all I really wanted to say with the limited knowledge that we have right now. As we get more information, of course, I'll be reporting it, but for now, that's all I have for you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him up with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. War in a cave with a torch on a wall, then a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.